Yeah. Hey, this is my podcast. I'm Luke Soin.
Hi, I'm Jacqui Pirl.
She did it. You did it for me. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes. Well, my name is spelled so weird, it gets pronounced so many different ways.
Yeah.
You know.
Pirl.
Yeah, Piri. I get a lot of Piri. I get a lot of...
they forgot. They think the L is an I.
Yeah. Or Jacques. I'm like,
and then you're a French painter.
Yes, somehow I'm a French painter. Yes, indeed. Jacques Piri. So it's Jacqui Pirl.
Cool. Yeah.
But it's spelled Jacqui. And then Pearl is Pirl.
People from Hawaii.
Yeah, well, my mother gave me one. My ex-husband gave me the other. I had nothing to do with my name.
Yeah.
Most women don't.
You should just choose a new name.
I kind of like Jacqui Pirl. It works.
Oh, okay.
It fits me.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
new name. I don't know what I'd be. Something outrageous. Yeah.
I don't know.
I almost named my oldest daughter Ocean. She would have been Ocean Pearl. She's still mad about it.
Even though it didn't happen?
No, it didn't happen, but she, I didn't know what she was going to turn out to be. She turned out to be a lifeguard, a water polo player, a surfer. Ocean Pearl would have been the perfect name for her, but I just thought...
But it's it might be corny, like people might hate, like make fun of her, you
Yeah,
know?
what if she'd grown up to be an attorney or something? Ocean, it sounds like, your parents were two hippies living in the woods smoking weed all day,
Ocean Pearl?
And then Anna is actually her name, but she could have been Oceana Pearl,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Anna could have been her middle name. We could have called her Oceana. I don't know.
She's Japanese, kind of.
Oshi. Indeed. I like your Yoda cup.
Oh, yeah, my roommate got it for me. Thanks, Allie.
Epic.
Yeah.
I just got done.
Yoda best roommate. Get it? It's not Baby Yoda. It's just regular.
No, but I just got done binge watching The Mandalorian. Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. I can't wait for season 2. Hurry up.
I know. Yeah.
I love it. And I didn't think I was going to like it. I'm not really... Like, Star Wars isn't my thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I saw the original Star Wars when it came out. I was 11 and a half years old, and it was the first movie that my parents, dropped me and a friend off to see by ourselves. So it was a big deal for me.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what a big deal Star Wars was.
Yeah.
And then I never saw another Star Wars again until this year.
Really?
Not a single one of them.
Dang.
I know.
So that must have had some kind of weird mythological, Or did you like it when you saw it?
I loved it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think I saw it 3 times.
Why didn't you go see the other ones then?
I don't know. I just wasn't. I honest to God don't know. I think that just seemed like the Star Wars for me. And the rest of them seemed like
extra.
Yeah, kind of fake, kind of add-ons, like sequels. Which they were sequels and prequels.
Yeah.
But,
well, Empire. You definitely should watch Empire Strikes Back.
I've seen them all now.
Oh, okay.
I've seen every. Well, have I? I think there's one I haven't seen. The one that just came out.
Oh, The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that one I have not seen. But yeah, I like them. I'm still if I'd like to watch them all again. But I don't know if I want to watch them in chronological order or in the order they came out. It's weird to figure that out, right?
You can watch them like episode 1.
Yeah.
Or you could start at episode 4.
Yes.
I recently watched them for the new movie. I watched them from chronological.
Chronological, how they came out in the theaters.
Yeah, so I did 1, 2, 3, and then I did Solo, a Star Wars story, and then Rogue One.
Okay.
And then A New Hope, so 4, 5, 6, and then 7, and then I didn't get to 8 because I didn't have enough time.
Okay.
But I saw it recently again. That's I don't know.
That's your jam.
Of all the guests that I would have, I didn't think I would get into Star Wars, but no, I don't like.
Yeah, right. It's like what? It was Baby Yoda.
I was planning on having one of my nerd friends who looks exactly like me.
Oops, sorry, I covered that. No.
Well, you're wearing glasses. So.
I am, yes, kind of a fake nerd.
Yeah.
I'm a fake nerd.
Are those real or fake glasses?
No, they're real.
Oh, okay. Then you're not fake.
No. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. No. I have had the same prescriptions since I was a senior in high school.
Wow.
Which they
impressive.
say, and I'll be 55 in April, which they say is insane because your eyesight is supposed to fluctuate, but
yeah,
it's just, there it is. Yeah. So
maybe you're good about, I heard something once on a podcast about how they had someone who's an eye expert and they were talking about how a lot of people's eyes go bad now because they're just staring at a screen. or like your like whether it's your computer or like a TV or your phone.
Yeah.
And so it's like putting a cast on your eye, and then it's like you're just like you're only doing that, so the muscles aren't practicing like focusing
Going
for
back
farther away. Yeah.
Yeah. That could be. I also do an awful lot of driving, so it's screen time, but driving, but
Yeah. You like drive a little bit, look down, text a couple
and
letters.
I'm pretty good at resting. Like if I'm working on my computer, if I'm writing something, I will get up and walk around and look outside and do that. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
Please hang in their eyes. I don't want to go blind.
Yeah.
But I drive a Volkswagen Jetta.
I used to have one of those.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I had, like I said, I saw one Star Wars, but somebody took the TTA off my Jetta and put a DI on it for me.
Oh.
So I drive a Volkswagen Jedi, but I didn't even know anything about them.
Someone did that to your car, or you asked them?
Yeah, no, a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you just went into the Target, and then you come out and it says Jedi, and you're like, "Am I a Jedi now?"
No, but it's funny because I'll stop at gas stations and people are like, "Oh man," like they can't wait to talk to the nerd girl who drives a Jedi, and I'm just like, "What?" Oh,
like,
no.
Oh no, I don't know who Count Dooku is.
What? Yeah, what? I have no idea. Tatooine, what? Yeah.
That's one of the guys, right? Tatooine. He was the guy.
Yeah. He's the guy that goes, "Boss, the plane."
He's the guy that goes, "E.T. phone home."
Phone home. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have like a lot of thoughts about the new trilogy. But I don't want to get into it because it'll just get convoluted.
Yeah, and I don't know that much about it.
We will do an episode. My friend, I've known this guy since kindergarten.
Nice.
David Stoffer.
Okay.
And he's in New Zealand right now. He's been visiting like Hobbiton and all that stuff.
No kidding.
Yeah, his Instagram.
Out.
Yes.
Wow.
His Instagram feed is like, I want to go there. I mean, he's just like the whole last week and a half. That's what he's been doing.
That's epic.
Yeah, but I've known him since kindergarten. We're not like super great, like close friends or anything, but we did a podcast when the first new movie came out for like 2 hours. It was fun. So now I'm like, we should do another one. And because he loves the new trilogy, especially like the middle movie. And I hate the middle movie. I like things about it, but I don't like a lot of the stuff that they did in it. And then the new movie's like, it just feels like it's undoing that movie and cramming in too much. And it's like, but if you just watch it, it's fun. Like it's not, it's entertaining, but it's like, it just does a lot of weird stuff that I didn't like.
Yeah, and I talk to people who know, every background history of every minor character in the whole thing, and I'm just like, I could never get that into it. I'm there to watch it. They were good movies. They entertained me, but I don't have an encyclopedia of which planet has which moon and which character came from it and which species they are in my head. Yeah.
No, that's just, I was like 3 when I saw it. Mm-hmm. Like my parents dropped me off in front of the TV at my grandma's house.
You were 3 when you saw the first Star Wars.
Yeah.
But not when it came out.
No, it was 1990.
No, 70.
No, I'm 32.
Okay. I'm
sorry,
like,
that was confusing. Yeah. No, when I was like 3.
I see. You saw it. Got it.
Yeah, and then I was like the day before that, I was into trains and I saw Star Wars and I was like, what are trains? Like,
oh, that's great.
Yeah. Make sure you use the mic.
Mm.
You're a
that's great. I know, but I'm getting comfy.
Yeah. Well, however you use it on stage is probably good, yeah. Because it's a stage mic, so.
Indeed it is. So.
Yeah, so it's just been my whole thing. And then I have like lots of dumb, like I've just thought about it a million, like forever. So I just have thoughts about how it should go, like whatever fan nerd. But I don't, like, I'm not a toxic nerd where I'm like, why is there Asians in Star Wars? Like I hate, like those people are bad, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
My criticisms are like, the story isn't what I thought. Like, it's just not imaginative enough. Like, it's just things like, I wanted this and this, and it's just.
So you should write some fan fiction.
Well, I'm actually like, since high school, I've been working on, and I don't know if it'll ever be a thing or not. It's just like, but I've been working on my own, like not Star Wars, but like a thing like Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah. So
novel or script?
How
are you writing
first,
it?
I think it was going to be a book first, then it was going to be movies, and then now it's like I would like it to be like an 8-episode TV
series.
show.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah, like seasons, like 8-episode seasons, because then you get. And then it can be like kind of bigger budget, so you can get like the big action scene stuff, but you can also get more character and like develop the world. And especially for something like that, you need a lot of time to like show how like what it is because it's so big.
How many episodes do you have finished?
I haven't finished anything.
All you need to do is get a pilot and an outline for the other ones and try to get somebody to do it.
Oh yeah, no, I want it to be perfect. So
okay, so we'll see. We'll check back with you in 30 years.
yes.
Okay, got it.
When the first one comes out.
It comes out.
Yeah. When the technology's so crazy, I could just do it in my house and I'll make everything like in the computer.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, but I have like a big document on like my Google Drive that's like 30 or 40 pages of just like world building, you know, like just stuff that's like the planets and the aliens and the characters and stuff. I have an idea of like how it starts, but I keep changing like little bits, and then I don't know how to like finish the first season. I kind of
you know how it starts and how it ends, but you don't have the middle part?
Yeah.
Or does the end keep changing as you move things around?
They both keep changing, but there's like a general thing where like the general beginning is the same, but just like how things happen, what people's motivations are. Because at first, when I first thought of it, I'm like, I just want it to be cool.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like watching like YouTube videos about story and listening to like Dan Harmon talk about the story wheel or the.
Yeah.
Do you know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, now I'm like, oh yeah, the character, and they have to make decisions, and it has to affect the plot, or you know, like.
Yeah.
I really love that South Park quote. Have you heard that? Where they say, don't say, and then this happens, and then this happens. Like instead, if you ever find yourself doing that, be like, this happens, therefore this happens. Or this happens, but then this happens. And then that will make your story way more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I really love that because you could just write a story like a 3-year-old or like a 7-year-old and be like, and then he went to the store, and then he saw his grandma, and then they had marshmallows, and then they saw a movie, and it's like you could say like, and he went to the grocery store, but then there was an apocalypse. Therefore, he had to save his grandma from the apocalypse. You know, like that's more interesting. Yeah, although I threw apocalypse, that like went from 0 to 100 right away.
Yeah, but cause and effect. Yeah, right. From marshmallows to apocalypse.
Yeah,
sounds like a bad Costco outing.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you writing anything like that? I feel like a lot of the comics are sort of. Some of them are like. Oh, I'm writing a thing.
Yeah,
like even
I'm
here,
always,
not in LA. We're still doing it.
I'm always writing. Like I said, I majored in journalism, and I used to write for a living. That's what I did, and I've published books. I've done a lot of technical writing, but I love to write romantic comedies. And I've written 3 of them. 2 of them are pretty well finished. One of them is a mess, and I'm going to have to rewrite it. But I just. Yeah, like I get a story in my head and I need to write it.
Yeah.
And then I drive around wherever I'm driving, like having arguments in my head with these imaginary characters, which for anybody else would be schizophrenic, but for a writer or a comic, that's okay.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
But I'm like, no, you will sleep with him. I can't sleep with him. You have to. What am I going to do with my story if you don't? Okay, tell you what. You don't sleep with him yet, but we got to figure out a reason why, you know? It's just
so you're like a pimp to your characters?
Oh, God. Yeah. Sometimes it's the opposite. It's like, no, you can't yet. You know, you guys can't kiss yet. That's got to come later. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm arguing with my characters in my head all the time. But the other thing I love... like historical fiction. My mother-in-law was one of the most fascinating people I've ever met in my life. I adored her. She was just fabulous. She was born in 1916 in what was Poland. Well, it is Poland now. It used to be it used to be Germany.
Okay.
And her first memory at the age of 3, so this is 1919, was her mother throwing her and all of her brothers and sisters on a cattle train, getting out of the way because the Russians were coming. World War I.
Yeah.
You know, just insanity. That's her first.
Yeah.
She has the most amazing stories about World War I, World War II, living there when the wall came up because she was in Eastern Germany. Her husband was captured by Russians, thrown off a train because he was sick in the snowbanks. The Americans found him. They brought him back. She's just, I mean.
He was alive?
He was alive.
Whoa.
They saved his life, yeah.
Dang.
And she's
Talk
just,
about getting a cold.
oh,
I don't know.
right? In
That was
fucking
bad.
Snowy the Russian. Yeah, it's crazy off a train. She just has the most amazing stories. And I would sit down with her and a tape recorder and record it. And she would say, okay, Jacqui, now you turn it off. I tell you what really happened. And I'd turn off the recorder and she'd tell me.
Turn on the other one.
Yeah. No, my brain was recording it. But I would love to write her memoirs as a historical fiction.
Yeah.
And
That's
I've
a
been
cool way to
working-
do it. 'Cause
yeah.
it's like not fake, but it is because it's not your experience. So you're like filtering it
Right.
and punching it up. Yeah.
Right. And I've got about 19 hours of her on tape just talking stories. And it's just amazing. I made each of the kids a CD and a transcript of it. So they've all got that. But she was, my husband is 9 years older than I am, but she was married.
So he's dead now.
My husband to me. No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
joking.
kids. He's your wonderful father.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think I met like your son once at a mic.
Did you?
Sort of. I feel like you brought. I don't know. I feel like
I
I've
have
met
my daughter and my son.
Yeah.
Not my oldest daughter. She's in Hawaii, but my
Okay.
son and my little one who's 5'10". She's not little.
Yeah.
Taller than I am. I'm like, kids, clean your room.
Don't make me get the stick.
Yeah. But she she was married and it was during World War II. This is a crazy story. But I can tell it now. She's gone. But
Here we
she
go.
was So she was married, it was during World War II. Her husband came home on leave. She had a brand new baby, my husband's brother, and a 2-year-old, so my husband's sister. And her husband came home on leave, party, woohoo, yay, sex for the first time, whatever. And then he went back. And that's when he went missing. So
Got
he was
thrown
on
off
a
the
train.
train.
But they didn't know where he was.
Yeah.
And she found out she was pregnant. And she didn't even have enough food. This is rations to feed the baby she had. Her youngest was very sick, had pneumonia.
It's all playing in my head like a movie.
Oh, completely. It's snowy out. She's freaking out. She has no job. She has no, she's got rations. She's also taking care of Rebecca, who was this lady who lived near her. She was old. She didn't have any kids. And so she lived with them. So she was sharing her rations, making with, she's hidden Jewish people in her house before. She's an amazing woman. But so she's sitting there and she doesn't know what to do. And she's pregnant and abortion is completely illegal. And she knows she's not even eating. She's giving everything she's got to this old woman and her 2 children. She is starving to death. She used to go out in the winter, find apple trees and dig in the snow and find rotten like apple cores that had been eaten and make whatever she could out of that. This is like serious
Apple
shit.
soup.
Yeah, apple soup.
Like that's just apple juice. It's apple soup.
It's apple soup, damn it. You will eat that. But I mean, this is not, I'm starving, let's go to Taco Bell. This is like serious shit, running out of fuel. So she asked around and she found out that there was a doctor down the road who he and his wife was a nurse that would perform illegal abortions. And she got on her bicycle at like 1:00 in the morning because she had to put the kids down or whatever. And it was the middle of
the
winter.
worst joke.
Oh God.
Should I say it?
Yes, put the kids down.
Did she take the seat off to start the process by sitting on it? Let me just mix it up.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God. Yeah, let's not get too serious here. Yeah, that's how she did it. No. But this town was 30 kilometers.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Don't you find that as a comic, like you're sitting with civilians and you just say the most obnoxious shit like that and you're just like, oh, you guys aren't used to this. Yeah. Oh, I probably shouldn't say this shit at a family reunion.
The dinner at my grandma's house is always like, I'm just like, I can't say that. Can't say that.
Right?
It was hot today, wasn't it, guys?
Yeah. How's the weather?
That's all I got for you.
But I'll finish this real quick. So she rode 30 kilometers in the snow, in the dark, to a different town, had an abortion, had a cup of tea, got on her bicycle, and rode the fuck back before her kids woke up, which is insane to me. But she was very Catholic. So she really, honest to God, believed that God hated her. That was a sin. That was horrible. She hated herself. So her husband came back from war, whatever. Fast forward literally 21 years later, same husband, and she's old now. She's 48, something like that. She'd always wanted more kids. And even once he was back, she never got pregnant again. And she knew it was because she'd had an abortion and God was punishing her. And I mean, that was her thought process. And she finally got pregnant with my husband. So when she got pregnant with my husband, his brother and sister were like 21 and 20.
Well, how old are they now? Like 80?
Oh, yeah. Rosemary is, I shouldn't say her name on here, but
she probably doesn't have Facebook, so.
No, she doesn't have Facebook, and she ain't following me if she does. Yeah, she's 82, I think, something like that.
Dang.
60. Yeah, because my ex is 60, 58, 61. So yeah, 20 years apart, and she was so happy when she found out she was pregnant because she said, in her German accent, which I can't do, Jacqui, she said, God has forgiven me.
Aww.
So I've got all these stories like this, but with World War I and World War II, and she's been a refugee twice in her life. She moved to America at the age of 50, didn't speak a lick of English, cleaned houses and babysit, and put herself through nursing school at night. She was a neonatal nurse at Kaiser for 20 years. Just like, this woman blows me away. Then when I had my first baby, she retired, and I went back to work, and she took care. I have a neonatal nurse who is also their grandmother. She took better care of my kids than I did. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, you know? I'm just like, yeah. So jackpot on that one. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I'm writing. I would like to write her memoirs out, and I've started on that. I also have...
That could be a series too. Like, you could do season 1 as like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I feel like because of shows like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and like, I don't know, whatever, like The Man in the High Castle, like, just you can do so much more, and you can still get like the big epic feel.
Yes.
Because you can have like scenes where something cool or crazy happens, but then you can also just do like a lot of character and like
bring
you
it
could
down
build people.
and yeah.
That's what I think is the best way to do something. But I love big movies that are fun. Like, I love the Marvel movies.
I'm
So,
sure you do.
Yeah.
Those
Like,
are another thing I haven't
yeah.
seen till recently. I mean, I saw some of them. My son said, Mom, you've got to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm like, what? Like a space movie with a fucking talking raccoon? I want a tree? Come on. I want no part of that. And
But then you saw it.
He dragged me to it. He's like, we're going. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like one of my favorite movies ever. And he's like, I knew you'd like it, Mom. And I was like, right on.
That's why, like, I get so mad at people when they say stuff like, some of my friends have been like, because I'm criticizing the Star Wars movies. I'm like, I don't like this and this, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then they'll be like, well, why? I mean, it's just like, it's always been like a dumb space movie for kids. And I'm like,
that was me.
But it's like, also, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You like, it could be Guardians where it's actually like really fun and hilarious and like good, like a good story and like develop like. So, and then I also look at Pixar movies. Like, that's my number one example. It's like, those are dumb kids movies, or they could have been. But, like, oh, the toys come to life? Like, that's stupid. But no, like, they've told 4 amazing stories.
Well,
about
3. One of them was,
Really?
Yeah,
Which one?
the third one.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The third one's amazing.
I don't know. I think it was the third one.
That's the one where they're in the daycare and they almost get turned into lava at the end.
Yeah, that one wasn't my favorite. I don't know why. You know, sometimes you watch a movie, just like when you read a book, and it depends on the mood you're in,
totally,
or the phase of life you're in. You know, you read a book and you go, I love this book. And then you go back 10 years later and you read it and you go, what? This is trash, you know, or the other way around. So I don't know. Might have just been that.
Yeah, no. But I mean, either way, like, the fact that the 4th one was still like a phenomenal film, it's like that there's no excuse for making a bad movie. There's reasons why it happens, but it's like, I don't think that makes it okay that they were like, well, let's just make one. We'll copy the first one and we'll make that, but different, but the same. And then the next one, we'll let someone else write it who didn't really watch or know much about the first one, but he knows sort of the basics. He'll do his own thing. That's fine. And then the third one, I don't know. Well, we fired the guy who was going to do it. So can J.J. Abrams, can you do this one too?
Yeah.
So, okay, sure. So I'm going to undo the last movie because that's not what I would have done. And then here's everything I wanted to do, but we'll shove it into one movie. And then every time someone dies, we'll just have them come back to life 2 minutes later.
Right. We'll make up some wild excuse to,
Yeah. So it's like that. To me, it's like you had all the money and all the resources, literally like of all the studios in Hollywood, Disney and Lucasfilm, like they have the most dedicated people. They have all the money and the time, so they could have spent another year, had meetings,
Get
met
creative,
up,
yes.
figured it out,
Yeah.
planned out the whole trilogy, start to beginning, start to end, start to beginning.
Start to beginning. No, that would be Star Wars.
Yeah, kind of like the
Start
and then the
to be-
prequels. Yeah. It starts here, but it begins over
Yeah,
there.
but it begins over there.
Yeah.
Now we have Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, right? So I just that's what's frustrating is after all of it, all three of these movies came out, looking back, it's like, well, they could have made it really great
Right.
and they didn't. And it feels like a huge missed opportunity. But yeah, you're right. The Mandalorian's great, and so that makes it okay a little bit. And I loved Rogue One. I thought that was a really great film.
Yeah.
Like the characters don't do a lot of stuff, but the plot, like, it's just fun to watch. And
Yeah.
the plot is good, I think. I don't know.
The thing with Mandalorian is it was just such a beautiful set. The scenery was gorgeous. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of the superheroes, Deadpool. Oh God, my favorite. I love it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And like I said, I was not a Marvel or
Yeah.
a DC fan. I was just kind of
Totally.
like, I don't know, Spider-Man. That's what my son wore around the house for 3 years when he was a kid.
it was on
you
his
know? I was
underwear
like,
when he was 4.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what that was, you know. But yeah, I've been trying to get a little bit more into pop culture.
You don't have to. That's just what I like. But
Well, as a
I used to be
comic-
more like, why don't you like this? And now
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I mean, everyone has their own things that they're into. It's totally
Yeah,
fine.
but as a comic, I need to be a little bit more up on pop culture because there are
Yeah.
times when I
References
do a
and-
show in Davis and I'm talking to a bunch of kids my son's age, you know?
Yeah.
And
you
they aren't
played
going to get the
Fortnite?
old lady shit. What's
Yeah.
that?
Have you played Fortnite so you understand?
I know about Fortnite. I have not played Fortnite. I've watched
Yeah.
people play video games. I don't really play.
Yeah.
I mean, Pac-Man is like really the last game I played hard
First and
at.
last game. I played like 3 hours of Fortnite. It's not my favorite thing, but I don't know.
Okay, and there's a Fortnite dance, and I mean, yeah, all
Yeah.
that. But no, I do a couple of jokes about video games just because there's, my son plays, my daughter plays hard, World of Warcraft, all that stuff,
okay.
and my two daughters play online together sometimes. But
Nerds.
nerds, yeah, nerds. But the other thing too is growing up in Hawaii, it wasn't they played video games, but that was something they did sporadically. They were out in the ocean every day. We were out swimming, surfing,
Yeah.
kayaking, hiking,
Yeah,
and
if
so
you
they,
didn't, that's like a crime and you would go to jail.
yeah,
You
yeah.
live in Hawaii.
You live in Hawaii. Why
Gotta
are you
go out
sitting
there.
in a dark living room,
Yeah.
So
Totally.
they, my son was into it and he would have friends over and they'd just kind of take over the living room and pull out the couch and there'd be 9 of them in there
Yeah.
screaming. But that was an evening on a weekend thing because otherwise we're outside. So, yeah.
Well, it's like anything. Like balance is good.
Yeah.
You can do this, but then don't do it all the time forever. Like I can drink coffee.
I could
but
drink coffee forever.
If I drink it all day, I won't sleep and I'll be shaking and
I
have
usually
anxiety.
drink coffee pretty much all day.
Really?
Yeah, I love coffee.
How do you sleep though?
I
just
grew up in the Midwest and like they'll give you a cup of coffee at 3, at 3 years old, it's like,
Oh.
here's your eggs and coffee. I'm exaggerating,
Dang.
but by 8 you're having coffee.
And then you're working on cars.
Yeah.
And your hands are all hurt. And you need coffee so that they work again.
Right. Dinner was always 6, 7 o'clock. They'd bring out dessert and coffee. People would sit around and talk till 8, 9 o'clock drinking coffee. It just was. I don't know. I think I'm immune to it. I think I'm made of coffee now. So
Yeah, that's
coffee and
very
beer.
clear.
Yeah, very clear. Very clear. Do you think so? Yeah, but if I get too much coffee in me, it's like, stop it, Jacqui.
If they had
Can you imagine me on cocaine?
I would be afraid.
That would be bad. That would be scary.
You would have even more glitter in your clothes.
I would. I'd be like, ta-da! Look like a stripper. Oh, God, that's funny. When my kids were little and losing teeth, I had a little jar of blue glitter. And whenever they lost a tooth, I would, put a dollar bill under there. Sorry, kids, if you didn't know I was the tooth fairy. And no kids, don't listen to this. But anyway, I would sprinkle some glitter down so they always knew the tooth fairy was a little.
That's
blue.
wow.
Yeah,
That's going the distance because that's like, look, she left a trail of fairy dust. That's pretty cool. My mom didn't do that. But she did leave, money. But
Yeah, but my daughter lost a bunch of teeth, and she came to school with $4, and her teacher at that time was a friend of mine, and she came up to me after school. Sophie was all proud, she's like, $4, $4, and I went to pick her up, and the teacher pulls me aside. She goes, maybe next time with the tooth fairy, you don't want to leave the dollar bills your husband brings home from the strip club.
oh, because of the
Ah,
glitter.
glitter, and I just died. I was like, oh my God. My daughter's balling $4 strip club bills in second grade. So, folks, yes,
And
I'm
she's
a
like,
great parent.
If you ever want to talk about how your husband spends so much time at the Coconut Hut,
Right? Epic Tiki. How did you come up with that name?
what, Epic Tiki?
Yeah.
Oh, so my friend Mike and he's the one that got me to try to do stand-up or try, to do it.
How long ago was that? Now I'm taking over the interview, folks. How
that's
long
okay.
ago? How did you?
Unlike
begin?
Pete Holmes. Wait, like Pete Holmes, I'll let you interview me. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
I forget. I used to listen to You Made It Weird a lot, and he would say that. He'd be like, I'll let you interview me.
I love Pete Holmes.
Yeah.
I love him.
He got a little too much for me. He just got, I haven't listened for a year and a half because he just got so, I'm vegan, but I won't talk about it. But then he talks about it for an hour. And
Yeah,
it's he's just so
he's gone on a very spiritual. He's gone on the spiritual journey that I think most people do their first year in college.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I took philosophy class. Now I know all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he was very religious, and then he got into Ram Dass and a whole bunch of spiritual leaders. He used to go out to Maui every year and do the Ram Dass retreat. And
He's just he just apologizes for too many jokes and things, and I'm just just fucking own it, man. Just be.
But that's part of his charm. He's awkward.
Yeah, but it's not it just feels like he's trying too hard for people to like him instead of just being himself.
I think that's part of it. Yeah.
That's just
But I think that's him being real. He
Yeah.
really is apologizing. He really is wanting people to like him. That's part of his.
I don't know.
I think it's genuine.
Okay.
That's me.
Yeah, I've been thinking about trying to listen again because he has really great guests.
Yeah.
But he just sometimes he's a lot. But for a while I loved it. I think that was comedy college for me.
Did you watch
Listening to
Crashing?
that podcast? Oh, I've seen the first season. I didn't watch more than that.
Okay. No, yeah, I listened to it. I've listened. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you think about it, there's no school for comics. They have classes at the Comedy Spot and Punchline and stuff like that. But
yeah, you can't get a PhD in comedy.
yeah, and it's even those classes, I'm sure they're good, but I feel you can't really you can teach people how
Structure.
etiquette, structure, what you can push them in a direction, but ultimately you have to do it. You can't. You have to just do it. That's the best advice is the class should be hi, go do stand up, go to open mics.
I think
Okay,
of it.
you're
I
done.
think
You're
of it like learning to swim. You can read all about swimming. You can watch the techniques. You can see where to put your hand. But you're never gonna fucking learn to swim unless you jump in that damn water and do it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way you're gonna get better. And then you go deeper and deeper and deeper and longer and longer and longer and that sounded like sex. Sorry.
My girlfriend is watching this.
I'm very sorry.
No, but I think 201 at the Comedy Spot's cool because I think what they do is they do a set at the open mic and then they go and talk about it. That's useful because you have someone. But if
Correct.
for 101, I don't know what they do, but and fuck me, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm not saying don't.
Nobody does.
I'm not saying don't buy classes at the Comedy Spot.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I don't know what just sitting there and telling someone about comedy does when they could just go do it. Because if you're just sitting there and you're sort of trying to write some jokes out and then trying them on other people in your class. I mean, it's like an audience, but it's I don't know. I think you just go do it.
I think you have to do it, yeah. But I do think, for those who want to start comedy who have never done it, I think a basic class is helpful because
does kinda
they don't
introduce
know they don't know to remove the mic from the stand, move the mic stand.
Totally,
they don't know to
watch the light.
Don't get off stage till the host gets back on. Watch the light. Premise. a setup, premise, punchline, tag. They don't even know what a tag is. So I think some of those things are helpful.
Totally.
You can get them online as well if you want to look for them. But I think it sometimes helps when you're brand new to it. Structure of a joke,
it's
how many
not,
laughs per minute, kind of.
It's not the worst thing to do. I'm just saying, like you don't need it, but if it helps you
agree.
It gives you like, like if you're afraid of it and you're like, well, I can take a class and then maybe this will like give me an idea of what I'm in for. Then that's good. It's
and
totally
that's how I got into it. I
took a class.
I took a class. Well, here's my story. I was newly divorced. I wasn't even divorced yet. I was in the middle of a mess. But I had moved. My son was going to UCLA, and we were paying out-of-state tuition. So I knew that if I moved to California, $52,000 a year would become $12,000 a year for tuition, right? So
college is so broken. That's a whole other thing.
It's insane. I paid, I went to the University of Hawaii, $850 a semester.
Yeah.
Insane. Like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, college is insane. But anyway, so I knew I had to move to California. So I randomly picked Sacramento, which is just bizarre. But I didn't know anybody in California. I've never lived in California.
Yeah.
And my best friend from Hawaii, who lived in Hawaii, her husband and her 3 kids, who kind of grew up with my kids in Hawaii, like they grew up as like cousins, they had just moved to Rockland like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So she said, come on over. But I was so depressed. Like my 25-year-old marriage had failed. I knew no one in the state. There's only so long you can sit and mope in your best friend's couch before she's like, you need to, we would like some family time, Jacqui. Stop crying, go home, So I literally.
We can't watch Toy Story 3, and now you're going to hate it forever because you're sad.
That might have been when I watched it. Oh, God, yeah.
The toys are going into the lava just like my relationship.
Yeah. So I literally sat in my room and cried. My daughter was still in high school. She was with me. I had a dog. I lived in a tiny little apartment. Coming from a giant house in Hawaii, 2 blocks from the beach, freaking friends everywhere, people I've known for 30 plus years, and I'm just isolated. And I did nothing. Like I wasn't working, and I literally sat. I would get up, make her breakfast, put on a smiley face, take her to school, come home, climb back in bed, cry till 2:30, 3 o'clock till I had to. I mean, for 6 months I did this. It was, and I would be like, just get up and go get a Jamba Juice. Just get out of that. Just do something. I wasn't writing. I wasn't talking to anybody back home because that was too painful. I was just serious depression. And my mom called me, and she said, Jacqui, because I'm putting on a smiley face for everybody.
Yeah.
That's what depression looks like. And
have you done that 1 degree of separation?
No, but I love Brad. I love what Brad and Victoria are doing, and I don't really suffer from depression. I'm mostly a very joyful. What you see is really pretty much Jacqui, but it was situational depression.
It's still a thing.
It is. It is. I don't think I was ever. I wasn't ever suicidal. I had 3 kids, so you can't. You don't have the option.
Yeah.
But I was never even there. But my mom said, you've got to see this new show. It's on Netflix. It's called Frankie and Grace, or Grace and Frankie. Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin.
Right, yeah, I've heard of that, yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Okay. The first episode, so there's 2 couples. They've been married for 40, 50 years. The men are attorneys, and they've been law partners for like 40, 50 years. So the women who hate each other, Jane Fonda is type A, all dressed in white, perfect, custom-made designer suits, and Lily Tomlin, who's a pot-smoking ex-hippie and flowing garb, whatever.
Yeah.
They're forced to hang out together because their husbands are partners in the law firm. So they all 4 go out to dinner one night, and the husbands announce at dinner that they are both divorcing their wives because they've been lovers for 25 years, and they want to get married. Oh!
Battery exhausted. Shit. Okay, so the battery went out.
I blew the battery in the camera.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She blew it up with her energy. It's too much. Okay, so the husbands, it turned out they were lovers.
They were lovers. So they're divorcing their
Which
wives.
I just told you. I was like, I was listening to you, and I was thinking like, that they're going to tell them that they're gay, and it's going to be, and then that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. So I watched that episode, and I'm sitting in my room after 6 months of like just feeling, and I just looked at it and I went, well, fuck, my life doesn't suck that much. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty intense, you know? And I was laughing my ass off the whole time. And I said, you know what you need to do, Jacqui? You need to go out. You love stand-up. You need to go out and watch comedy. So I did. No intention of ever doing comedy. But I wrote comedy. You know, I used to write. I write romantic comedy, novels, stories, short stories. Every article I've ever written, I throw comedy into. I've written corporate speeches for somebody else to do with comedy in it. So I have been a comedic writer for a long time, but I love stand-up. So I started going to Punchline, and then I found out about laughs, and I'd go there and I hear about things, and I started laughing again. I was like, this is amazing. And then I met Keith Lowell Jensen at one of them, and it was one of his shows, and I just adored him. And I was like, this is so good. And he's like, you have the greatest laugh, you know, because you can hear me.
Yeah.
I'm fucking loud. It's crazy. Sometimes like I'm recording. Will you record my set for me? And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, ha!
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up.
I've seen you like recording for Ed. I bet all of his videos are just.
Oh, I try so hard, so hard. Fortunately, most of the people who have me record for them are just for them to go look at. You know, they're not trying to. They're not going to ask
I
me.
thought you were gonna be like, fortunately, they're not funny, so I don't laugh.
That would have been funnier. But I started doing it, and Keith said you should give it a try. And I'm like, I can't. I'm First of all, I'm absolutely terrified to get on stage. Public speaking just scares the hell out of me. But I'm
So everybody says though.
well, and I'm also the type of person that if something scares me, I go head on. So when I realized I was afraid to fly, I took up skydiving. I mean, just let's get over this shit, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought, okay. So I took one of his classes at Blacktop, and I loved it. And we had I think one of the reasons I liked it, we had a really good class. The folks in there were fun. But I'm finally talking, I think really what it was is I was finally talking to other human beings again.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, please talk to me. I don't know anybody. I have no friends.
Yeah.
And my daughter's 17. She hates me, you know. And he said, you should keep doing this. And it took me like another 6 to 7 months to go out and just, I wouldn't go up, but I'd go out and sit in the back like a creep, not talk to anybody again, and watch, you know, and just watch and watch. I was so bad in the beginning. My first set wasn't bad because Keith and the class we helped write it, you know, but I still didn't understand what was happening with the writing there. You know,
what worked and why it worked.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So my first sets were just awful. Like, I can't even watch it. Do you remember your first sets? Were they awful?
Yeah.
Horrible. Like, have you gone back and watched them?
I can't. A lot of them I can't. I didn't film. So.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Like the oldest one I filmed was like a Punchline showcase on my phone, and I don't even know if I still have that. I might have lost it somehow.
You put it on the computer somewhere?
It might be on my laptop.
Yeah. Oh, it's just cringy to go back and watch it. I'm just like, no. Oh, God.
And the first time I went up at the Punchline on one of those, it was one of Raj Dutta's showcases.
Yeah, I was on one. That was my first time at Punch, too.
Yeah, and like.
Where's he been?
I don't know. I think he's still doing comedy. He hasn't been around here.
Okay.
But I've randomly saw a post like a few months ago, and he was still doing stuff. I don't know. But like you do the set, and it's the first time you're in front of a real audience.
Yeah.
So then any laughs you get are like,
whoa, blow me away. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And then after I got off stage that first time, I felt like I had this is the thought I had. Like, I know it's completely stupid. I was like, this is like the closest I'll feel to like winning the Super Bowl.
Yes. I can totally.
This is how the Super Bowl must feel. It's getting off stage as an open micer.
But it still feels like that when you have a great set in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
To me. I mean, it's like I've never done heroin, but I would imagine this is what comedy is like heroin. It's just like...
Yeah. When you have a good set and someone comes up and they're like, I really love... You're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah, but and then I just started going to some open mics and doing it, and just like the first 15 times I got up on stage, the first 10 times I got up on stage, I probably threw up before I got it.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm talking like full on sweats, like just blurred eyes, like I was terrified. And I'm not afraid to talk. Like if I'm in a group of people that I know, I'm the loudest one there.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to meet somebody at a party where I don't know people and they're not there yet, in the back corner, not
Yeah.
saying shit to anybody. I
Yeah.
am terrified. And I recently heard an interview with Daphne Guinness. Do you know who she is? Guinness Beer. She's the heir to the Guinness fortune.
Oh, okay.
Guinness Beer, the Irish.
I know Guinness beer.
Okay, yes. Well, she has
Yeah.
all that money.
Okay.
She's a billionaire. And she's always on like the top 10 best dressed lists. And she wears just the most obnoxious, like Lady Gaga clothes. I mean, just obnoxious clothes. And she was doing an interview and she said, basically, I'm very shy. And I thought, what? But then I kind of looked at myself and I go, I dress like that and I'm very shy. You know what I mean? Not like that, but I'm
Yeah, but you were like
obnoxious. I have a
pink or like
it's fluffy and big and loud
yeah,
and, you know.
shiny. Yeah.
And what she said was, she said, the reason I do it is intentional. Mine was unintentional. I just dress like that. But she said, it's because when people see me, they never talk to me. They talk about my outfit, my boots, and I'm like, I'm doing that too. Like constant, like nobody knows me. Nobody. If you ask 100 comics if they know Jacqui, they're all going to go, oh yeah, I know Jacqui. They don't know shit about me. They don't know how many kids I have. They don't know if a dog died. They don't know where I grew up. They don't know nothing about me except surface.
Yeah.
And part of that, I think that the costume is it's a shield. Interestingly enough, but
It also kind of works as like, well, if there's nothing to talk about, there's this.
It does. And the other thing unintentionally that it does is if I walk into a room, I've kind of got a uniform, you know, it's pink and it's bright and it's fluffy. People remember me again and again. Or if they meet me for the first time, I might not remember which white bearded dude you are in a hat and sweatpants.
Yeah, I could be Luke Soin, I could be Roman Spinelli, I could be Jack Scotty, I could
Bingo.
be even Al Schumann, maybe, like
Yes. Nick Larson.
yeah,
And
he's Mexican.
I know, but he doesn't look like it that
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
And in the beginning, I had no trouble telling the ladies or the black people apart. It was the white dudes. I was just like, wait a minute, who?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Melissa McGillicuddy. It's like it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
We took pictures one time when I just shaved. I had like shaved for some reason, and I was wearing glasses, and we just looked like the same person. We were wearing like the same shoes. Yeah,
that's funny.
My
That's
phone's over
funny.
there, but yeah.
Yeah, the other night at Blacktop, you and two other comics were wearing like the exact same uniform, like black shoes, tan pants.
Yeah.
A black jacket. I was cracking up.
Was it at the
It was
roast
Al.
battle?
Yeah, it was you and Al.
Yeah.
And a new kid that I don't know. I think he was on it. Younger kid. He went up against Al Moffat.
Oh, Court Hansen.
Is that his name? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does sketch and improv more than like he never does stand up. But yeah, I don't know how he got in contact with them, but that was really awesome because he's a phenomenal writer.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite roast battle that night.
Yeah.
Besides, I loved Maddie and Sam's roast battle too. That was a great one.
Okay. Yeah, I love going to them. I can't roast worth a shit. I can roast my daughter, and she roasts me right back. But she's so funny. I've got her cat. I told you I have scratches all over my hand. But this cat is a baby, and so if I open the fridge, it tries to climb in. If I open a cupboard, it's so curious. And I opened the dishwasher the other day and turned around. I was unloading it, and the cat's all the way in the back of the damn dishwasher. And I'm like, oh. So I took a picture of it, and I sent it to my daughter. Not even a second later, the text comes back from her. She says, well, Mom, I guess that's one way to keep your pussy clean. It's like, oh my God, you bitch. But no, I can roast my daughter, but I just hate being mean face to face with people I don't know that well. It's hard for me. And it's like
weird to do it to people you don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I like it though. It's fun.
I love watching it. Love watching it. But it's just like,
would you roast someone you know better? Like
you know what I like? I like the honey roasts.
Honey roast?
Compliment battles.
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah.
Sweet roast, like that kind of thing. I don't mind that. I've roasted Jason Anderson before, and I was comfortable with that. But I mean, it's just like, what am I going to do? Stand up here and talk about how you're fat and bald? That's mean, But that is what they do.
Yep.
It's just,
well,
and it doesn't bother me to get roasted. I don't mind that at all. It's just, what am I
doing it to someone?
Yeah. There's this voice in my head that I should get rid of that's just kind of going, oh, don't say that. That might hurt their feelings.
Oh, yeah.
It's too real.
Yeah, I just kind of like, somehow I got rid of the voice and I just do it because I'm like, this is fun. I don't know, like I like it, and I like it's like academic for me. It's like we're practicing this skill.
Right. Yes.
It's like doing football, or so. It's like you're just getting it. You're
Drills.
practicing a thing, and you're doing this art form, and you're like, here's the worst thing I could think of.
Right.
Right.
And I can help, like I've helped other people write for roast battles. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you should say this. Oh my God. And they're like, what? Yeah, she's big and fat. She looks like she, eats donuts off people's dicks, that kind of thing. What? You can say that. But I couldn't, I just, yet. We'll see. I'm going to work on it.
I also like it because, like, I don't know if you've ever done the Stab podcast. Have you ever done that before?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you know about it?
Which one? They do so many podcasts there.
So before they had their theater, John and Jesse, they do a podcast called Stab.
Oh, okay. No, I have not done it.
It's like you get prompts like a day ahead of time.
Okay.
And it's just like they have different segments in the show. It's sort of like a talk show or like a game. It's not a game show, but it's like you get to write stuff. So like one of them is the 5 Google searches of, and they tell you like something in the news, like Donald Trump's son.
Okay.
And then you have to like write what he's Google searching. So like that's one of them.
Okay.
They have like the topical haiku challenge. So they'll be like, Iran has launched missiles at U.S. bases. You have to do 5 haikus about this and try to make them funny. And then they have stuff like vows to an asshole, which is where you're marrying, like you're gonna marry a stapler, or you're marrying. I think Alfonso did one that was like Vlad the Impaler or Dracula. So it's like you have to write like
write your wedding vows too.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
So it's like an excellent writing exercise, and you like,
and they give you it ahead of time. It's not right on the spot.
Yeah, like a day or two ahead of time. Sometimes the day of, and you have to like figure it out.
Sure.
But I love like that, and then roast battles because it's like you have this due date for this comedy homework.
Yes.
And it makes you write something and hopefully make it good, and then you can like take that skill that you've acquired or grown in to put on your stand-up.
Right. It's the punch to get you going to do your homework instead of just going, I'm going to write this week.
You did that.
Yes.
Like once you do it good, then I can do that, so I can do it with my jokes.
There's a Mike in the Bay on Monday nights. Tito Gonzalez, and I forget who the gal is who writes it. I'm sorry. But you go in and you pick a topic out of a bucket. The benefits of reusing condoms was one I got. Just like, what benefits? Okay, whatever. Just crazy topics.
You won't know who the father is.
That was a good one. And then you get 30 minutes to write. And then you have to get up and perform 5 minutes on the topic. And I loved it. I've only been twice, but it is such a
cool.
immediate. I'd like to get one going here. Okay, Jackie, don't just say that. Get one.
Now it's on the internet.
That's on the internet. I put that out loud. Yeah, I would love to do one here. But I want to know how you got into stand-up. You've probably done this 100 times, but I don't know.
Oh, I don't even remember last time I talked about it. But
how long ago was it?
I always assume no one's watching because it's this podcast, but
correct. Yes, I'm sure. I could say anything.
Yeah. So yeah, like 8 years ago, I started in November.
8. Okay.
November 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I don't know the exact date. Like I don't remember that or how many sets I've done since then. But my friend Mike that I was talking about, he and I were like making video sketches, like silly, like we're just trying to make funny YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But we were doing like sketches. It wasn't like, I'm going to sit in front of my computer and talk about stuff like it is now, which I'm going to start trying to do probably. Like I want to start doing a vlog or something, but try to make it good because I hate vlogs.
Try to make it good.
Well, I hate when they just sit there and they're like, I went to Starbucks today.
Yes.
And then my dog was pooping and I clean it up. And then it's like.
And then I had this to eat.
Yeah. Or they just show stuff. Like I watched one the other day and it was just like showing like their family holiday party, and I was just like,
home movies.
Who's watching? Yeah,
home
exactly.
movies. This is Dad set up the slide screen projector.
Yeah, and there was just music over it, so it wasn't even like
God,
you couldn't even like hear what anyone like. It was just like something to turn on to ignore is what it felt like. So I want to make a good one. But anyways, so 8 years, yeah. So we're making videos, and then my friend Mike was like, he was like a drama kid, and I did drama my senior year. But
did you?
Yeah, it was
drama nerd. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
I always wanted to in high school, but I was
Yeah.
too scared.
Oh yeah, it was scary, but for some reason when I was a senior, I did it and it was fun. And
I wish I had.
That was probably like the first time I performed in front of people
Yeah.
and got like a laugh or something. And I was like, like I didn't know, but later, like.
See, I was a speech nerd, and I always picked the comedy. You got to pick. You could pick your topics or whatever, and I always picked the comedy genre to write my speech in. And I was in speech and debate, and so that was my.
Yeah, I would love to go back and take a speech class now.
You could take one at the community college.
Well, I know, but it'd just be
Oh,
funny.
go back.
It's
Yeah.
It'd be so easy now because I just do it and I'd just be up there like
hamming it up and yeah.
Like it wouldn't even be hard. But I remember taking speech classes and being afraid. But so Mike was a drama kid. He was like trying stand up a little bit. He went to a couple mics and he was like, "You should do it because we're doing videos and like you should try it." And I was like, "I don't know, it sounds scary. I don't want to do it." And then we went to this mic.
Where was it? First one.
It's called there was a restaurant called Po' Boys in Folsom.
Okay.
Across the river, like next to that Vic's grocery store, American River Canyon.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been over
Sure,
there.
I'll pretend.
You're from Hawaii.
Yeah. No, I was just in Folsom on Monday at the Folsom Hotel. Is it like in the old part of town?
So if you're in the old part and you go across the bridge,
yes,
and then you go right,
okay,
like you're going to Roseville, and then you go left on Oak Avenue. I think it's Oak Avenue, and then there's like a shopping center. There's like a really rich neighborhood, and there's a shopping center.
Okay,
yeah, and there's
I kind of know where you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, and there's there was a restaurant called Po' Boys,
like a sub shop.
No, it was like it was a dive bar for Folsom. Like it wasn't a dive bar, but it was like a shitty bar.
Yeah.
And then they had like a grill, so they made food. And they just had this mic there every Monday. Cheryl, the soccer mom, started it.
I love her.
Yeah, she's the best.
She was one of the first comics I met, and I just adore her. And she's from Minnesota, too, which is where I was born and raised. I lived there.
And her Vikings are going down this Sunday.
You know what? I gave up on the Vikings last year.
Are you
huge Vikings fan? The first person that ever proposed to me was Carl Eller. Like I go back to Fran Tarkington.
Is he from the Vikings? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And spring. Okay. So I was raised in Mankato, Minnesota, which until last year was the spring training camp for the Vikings. So every year my father would take us to the spring train. And it wasn't like it is now with all the security and stuff. We were at the college football field walking around with
kids
the
would get hit by the linebackers.
Absolutely, And then they would sign stuff. And Carl Eller, I was probably 11,
they
reddish
knocked the
hair.
kid over like, sorry, they signed his forehead.
Sorry, here. There you go. Now get out of here, kid.
My leg doesn't work anymore.
I'm broken.
There's
Sorry.
blood in my pee. There's still blood in mine, kid.
You'll never make it in the NFL.
I just wanted to go to the bathroom. I didn't know where it was.
But yeah, so I was 11 and Carl Eller, big, huge black man. I had him sign something and he said, "Honey, you're so cute." He said, "I'm going to marry you. Will you wait for me?" Which sounds really creepy. Like if a grown man now said that to an 11-year-old, it's just like, oh, hell no, me too.
Wait, you were 11?
Yeah, I was 11. But, okay.
Hashtag me too.
Hashtag.
Fuck.
But I mean, back then it was just the sweet thing to say to a kid who came.
He wasn't being creepy. He
wasn't being creepy. He was just being like, "Oh my God, you're so," But I remember being
I still remember those. Like I was a kid for a while when it was still like not like things weren't. Not everything was creepy. Like people would say things and they weren't being creepy when they said them.
Even if they were a little awkward, that's just the awkward dude over there. He didn't mean it,
Totally.
whatever. But and so huge Vikings fan. But last year when they blew it, the Super Bowl was in Minnesota. My brother lives one train station away from the stadium. Like I would have been at the Super Bowl, home turf with my Vikings, and I just went, "You guys fucking suck." They
You can say fuck. It's okay.
Fucking suck. they have been to the Super Bowl 4 times and never won. They are I have a T-shirt that I had specially made, and it says the best thing about dating a Minnesota Vikings fangirl is she's never going to expect a ring.
That's a good shirt.
Yeah.
I've been a Niners fan since I was a kid because my aunt made me, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm a Giants fan, Niners fan. Yeah, but
So the Vikings, Cheryl, you heard that?
I've been a bad.
He says the Vikings are going down.
Sorry, Cheryl.
Skull Vikings.
I've been a bad fan. I haven't really watched a lot of football the last like 3 years, but like I watched a few games this year, and I'm definitely gonna watch Super Bowl, whatever happens. But yeah.
I haven't watched a game literally since the Vikings were out last year. I just can't. I can't. I'm just so my kids. See, I used to be really into football and really into hockey. Those are which is hilarious because I am a completely nonviolent person, and those are like the most violent sports.
Yeah.
You know? I will watch like, hockey fights on my computer, like on a loop, and my son will be in and go, Mom, what the hell are you doing?
That's such a weird like loophole in sports where like they get so weird about basketball players getting into fights. They fine them ridiculously.
Hockey is mandatory.
But yeah, it's like it's part of the culture. Like you do it.
It is.
And I love that. But it's like I don't understand why they get so weird about basketball fights or football fights.
Yeah.
I mean, football, they're allowed to like kind of shove for a minute because it's like they're just amped
Sure.
But,
sure. Or golf fights. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. That's dangerous.
Yeah. But no, my kids used to call football season. They used to call it, it's laughing, screaming, and throwing things at the TV season for Mom.
Damn.
Because I get really.
You're like, I never let go of my Wiimote when I'm Wii bowling, but when the Vikings lose, I throw the Wiimote at the screen.
I've broken wine glasses.
Oh, damn.
Like
you crushed them in your hands?
I did, literally. I literally, and I was like, oh! Yeah, that actually happened. That was...
Jesus.
No, it's crazy. And part of me, so I was a huge football fan, and then I had kids, and football takes up your life. You can't spend all weekend.
So I gave my kids away.
I gave my kids away, and they were raised by strangers until they were old enough to bring me beers from the refrigerator during football season. No.
Until last year when the Vikings finally broke my heart and I took my kids back. They're 24, 23.
And they're Packers fans, so I hate them.
Oh,
no,
are they?
No,
okay.
Oh, hell no.
Damn.
None of them really watch football.
Oh, okay.
None
World of Warcraft. Yeah.
Yeah. And surfing, and they're outdoor people. They're really outdoor people. Yeah.
That's good, probably.
It is. Yeah.
So Cheryl ran this mic.
Okay. Yes.
And
back to that. Yeah. Because she lived in Folsom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ben Rice took it over. And that's when I went, was like when Ben Rice was running it.
Okay.
And I think I might be like mixing it together the first few times I went, but B.A. Hunter was also like, he would like come in and do it when
guy.
Ben couldn't. Yeah, he's a great dude. So I did that. That was the only mic I would go to for like a whole month or two. And then I started hearing about the Boxing Donkey open mic and some other ones and Comedy Spot.
See, these are long before me. Okay.
Yeah, the Boxing Donkey was, the bar still exists in it's like old Roseville.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sam Bruno ran it, and it was fun. It was like a slightly better On the Y.
Okay.
Like it was
well,
more.
It's hard to be slightly worse on the Y.
Yeah. Well, I say that,
but I get it. It's a bar mic. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bar mic. They wouldn't turn the TVs off during Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
But it was well lit, and there were audience members sometimes, and it was nice because you could do like Po' Boys and then go to Boxing Donkey and do that afterwards.
Yeah.
And then, but it was still kind of shady sometimes because people that lived above the bar were like crazy and like drug addicts sometimes, and there was one night where like a guy had like he was just like a weird guy. He had like a suitcase and like a protein powder jar.
Okay.
But in the protein powder was a gun or some shit like that.
That doesn't seem like that'd be very good for the gun. I don't know about cleaning guns.
You're like, why is this not working? Oh, it has protein powder.
Powder in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't protein powder. Maybe it was like
cocaine.
Cocaine. Like powder keg, like poof, like gunpowder.
Yeah.
That's
well, it was. I think it was.
It,
I don't know if I even saw inside of it. I don't know. It was. Yeah. Crazy.
Little sketch though.
Yeah. I mean, the mic was mostly safe, but
I get it.
Once in a while. So yeah. So I just did that stuff, and then I started going to Comedy Spot, and then like that's how I started or whatever.
What mics do you go to now? Where do you work out? I
try to go Sundays. I was going to the Punchline in SF on Sundays, like every other Sunday. And then And then like it just kind of, I don't know, like, I don't really want to like talk.
Have you gotten up there?
3 times, but in 2 years.
Sweet though. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, there's people who haven't gotten up at all.
Yeah.
Who go a lot.
Yeah. But you eventually do. You just have to like,
Keep
hi,
going.
Ron, like, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to.
I've been up once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did it go?
I hated myself, but I got really nervous. Like, and I shouldn't be nervous anymore, but it's such a big deal. It's such a rite of passage.
That's the thing that sucks is you get so in your head, like, I have to do good.
Yeah.
That you can't just have
you
fun.
can't relax. And yeah. So I think it went okay. It wasn't horrible. I've watched it. It wasn't bad, but I felt like I was holding back. I wasn't being Jacqui.
Yeah.
I was being Jacqui.
Yeah.
A little bit of, I was
Jacqui at the party where she doesn't know anyone.
Yeah, a little bit robotic, a little bit, I wasn't in the flow for sure.
Yeah.
I think I probably won't do so well the second time, but I third time I'll do okay. That's what I think.
Yeah. It's really, and I just, something like in the last year, I've been kind of getting more like better at going on stage being like, I don't care, like it doesn't matter.
Same.
And then you just have fun.
You do, and they turn out to be some of your best sets. It's like, I don't give a fuck. But also those are the ones where I go, I don't give a fuck, I'm not going to record it. And it was like, that was amazing. What did I say? Because I can't remember. I threw something in there that worked.
I record the audio every time.
I tried to do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a thing I always do. Mm-hmm. But the video, it's hard to lug a camera around. Like that's annoying.
Sure. I do
you
have.
You could get like a phone, like a little phone stand, and that's cool. But
and I do have things like me and Danny, me and Asia, me and Ed. Every time we go,
filming each other.
That's the agreement already up front. If I go on stage, you record me. If you go on stage, So, but yeah, I love it. It's all I do.
Stand up.
It's all I do.
Yeah.
Like I don't do anything. I have no other hobbies.
Yeah.
Like nothing. I write, because I still want to keep some of my stories going. And I would like to publish some of the ones I already have. It's hard. It's getting harder and harder to publish books. Nobody reads books anymore.
Yeah, they just go on Amazon as ebooks, and then does anyone? I bet people download it and not read it.
Sure. And the way you get a book read is you write a book. It sits there forever, making 99 cents a copy off downloading it on Amazon, and then 10 years later, somebody discovers it, makes a series out of it, and then they buy the book. Yeah. But and then good luck with that. That's like winning the lottery.
Yeah. So you have to make it yourself or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I'm not interested in anything else. I don't date. If I travel, it's for comedy.
Yeah.
And even if I'm going home to Minnesota to see my folks, it's about comedy.
Yeah. That's what got you there, is to do a show.
To do a show. Yeah. If I go visit my friends in Vegas, I'm going to be on 3 shows. I'm going to make sure I get on 3 shows, but
that's good. That's how you succeed.
I love to travel and I love to do comedy. So there we go. And I've raised my kids for export. They're gone. They're on their own. So it's mommy's turn. I can be a teenager. I can go crash on couches.
Yeah.
I can be gone for 6 days at a time,
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in like a similar, I don't have kids obviously, but I have like a similar situation where I can like accept things and go places and do stuff now. So that's cool. Like I've been working with Jimmy Earl and filming for him.
Jimmy Earl. Yeah.
So like
I got to do his show in Vegas at the LA Comedy Club.
Oh yeah.
At the Stratosphere. It was
I'm doing that.
Amazing.
I'm doing that in February.
When?
I don't have my phone. I think it's like the first week or 2.
Okay, because I'll be there the 10th through the 15th.
That might be when it is. I don't remember. I need to look. It's a Sunday night. I know that.
Well, I won't be there on a Sunday night.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it's a Sunday.
Okay, because the 16th is Aurora and Drew's wedding. So I'm coming back for that.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be there the whole week, I guess. But I try to get to Vegas is so easy because I have a place to stay. One of my best friends lives there, and her sister's from Sacramento. So sometimes she'll come out here see her sister. I'll ride back with her, and then the last time I bought a plane ticket back, it was $37 one way from Vegas. It's just like, how can you beat that?
Southwest or what?
Frontier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know that one.
Yeah. Well,
is it like Spirit?
Yeah, it's like riding in a flying cattle car.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's fabulous. It's really fabulous. Yeah, and if you want to check a bag, it costs extra. If you want to pick your seat, it costs extra. If you want to, but I found the best things to do with flights like that is don't pick your seat, because they will charge you $16 for this seat or $34 for that one or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not paying. I just bought the ticket. That should be my seat, right? And then when you get to the end of it and they have to assign you a seat, the expensive good ones are left because everybody's flying. Yeah, so I usually end up.
Don't tell people.
Shh, never mind. Delete that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have all these really travel for cheap. People look at my social media and they're like, "Oh my God, how do you travel so much?" You know what I mean? And
like,
it's okay. So I have friends in Hawaii. My kids are in Hawaii. The last time I went to Hawaii,
your kids live in Hawaii?
My older two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my daughter is a lifeguard and a surfer and a water polo player, and then my son.
Do they live with their dad or do they live on their own?
My daughter lives with her boyfriend. My son, well, he stays in town with his dad, and then he owns a hemp company, and they've got farmland and a house up on the North Shore. So he stays at the company house when he's up there. Yeah. So when I'm there, I'll stay with my daughter or I'll stay with friends. So I paid $219 for a round trip ticket to Hawaii last time I went.
That's not bad.
I was there for 11 days. I did not buy a hotel room. I probably ate out twice because I'll stay with friends, but while they're at work, I'll make dinner. And then we eat at home, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't rent a car. I did stand up all over, and that was the first time people from Hawaii had seen me do stand up because I wasn't doing it.
Are there shows to do? I mean, I know they have like a club or two, right? Or
there are 2 or 3 people who put on an awful lot of shows there, and all over it, different restaurants, bars, that kind of thing. So they're pretty active. Erica Schwarzkopf, Jose, Fiera. In fact, he's the one doing the Aloha. The Aloha Comedy Festival is coming up at the end of February. If you guys are interested.
Too late to apply.
Too late to apply. Although, what is the date today?
January 8th.
Today is the last day to apply to San Luis Obispo, the Slow Comedy Festival. So this won't air till then. The only comedy festival I've ever done is Savage Henry.
Yeah.
Have
you applied to a bunch or?
I haven't, and this is the year I do it.
I've applied to some, but they don't like the San Luis Obispo one. I did it a long time ago, but I look at
or did it?
Applied.
Okay,
I've never done it. But I look at like who they pick, and it's like I feel like they usually pick people with a TV
credit. That's a big one, yeah.
So then I'm like, do I even want to try if they're not going to like give like?
What I need is because I kind of have a full on list of all the comedy festivals, like worldwide. But I don't know which ones are going to be good for me. Like the ones that are going to be good for you are probably not the ones that are good. I mean, yes, industry's there, whatever. But I mean, this is a women's comedy festival. Obviously not for you. This is a nerd comedy festival. Obviously not for me. And I don't have that sorted out. So I want to pick somewhere I have a chance.
There's a lot that are just comedy festivals though. So yeah, I don't know.
But there's a lot of comedy festivals, and then you hear people say, "Oh, that one sucked. Like, don't do that one. It wasn't worth it. It was expensive, and I didn't get it." And then you hear other people going, "No, it was great." So I don't know how to pick them yet.
Yeah, well, and it's hard because you don't know because they could have a nice website and seem like everything. Because there was one year, and I'm sorry for saying this, but there was one year where the SAC Comedy Festival was kind of a mess, and they had all these like satellite like shows, but they were just
like one of their first
mics.
Ones?
It was like the second or third one.
Yeah.
It was like 3 or 4 years ago.
In the beginning, I think they're all kind of a mess. They're just trying to work out their system, figure it out. Yeah.
Well, and I think there was I don't know. I don't know for sure, but someone organized it it wasn't Brian. I know that. And they organized it in a weird way.
Brian, you're off the hook.
Yeah. But I remember like my showcase show during the week. Like, because you're in the competition, and then you got like a satellite show or
okay, sure,
like a showcase show around town, and mine was at the Starlight Lounge.
Okay,
on the night that the open mic happened, so it was like basically
you were just basically at an open mic.
Yeah, and I like for me it's like whatever. I'm in town. It's like fine. It's a show, but it wasn't. And then but there was like people on the showcase who were from Dallas or whatever. Like they bought a plane ticket. and this is what they got.
God.
So I can see how. You get like some of these shows, and it's like, well, we have the show at the coffee house, and there's like 3 people on a Sunday night or a Wednesday.
I get it.
Whatever.
Although, have you done Savage Henry?
No, I should have messaged, because I know you can just message them and they'll put you on.
It is. So there's not a lot of industry there.
Yeah.
But it is so much fun. There are comics from everywhere, and it's such
Everyone's
a great
doing drugs, and it's great.
Oh my God. Yeah,
I heard
everybody's
stories. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'll try to do it this
year. But it's
year.
great networking just with other comics. So I know
Totally,
I now know comics in Denver. I mean, I go to Denver every now and then, so I've got to connect there.
Yeah.
But the other thing is the entire town comes out for it. The whole town is supportive.
Yeah.
And we do the same. They do the same thing. I did one in a barbershop.
Yeah.
I did it in a coffee house. I did it in a pizza place. But there's ones in comic book stores.
Yeah.
But the whole town is kind of vying to have one of the satellite shows there, and people show up. Like there were probably maybe 30 people at the barbershop. They were sitting in the chairs because we ran out of chairs, in the barbershop chairs. So
I love those kinds of like guerrilla shows.
I
where
do
it's
too.
Packed and it's a small room, and it's like. I mean, we had a comic book store show because JoJo used to do that one.
JoJo Lewis.
Yeah. And
he doesn't anymore?
I don't. He might be taking
JoJo,
a
do you
break.
do it anymore? Let us know, please.
Yeah, I'll
Leave a message in the comments.
Comment
below, okay?
down below.
And support and like us, okay? All right, go ahead.
He's not gonna watch it. He's like one of my friends, but he just doesn't.
So what you do when you put the thing up is just give a teaser. Like, did we talk about Brian Krall? I don't know. Listen and see. JoJo Lewis, did we ask you to do something?
Tag these people so they watch the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell Morty to do with his podcast, and it
really?
works.
Does it?
It really does.
Oh, that's funny.
So who else do we want to talk about?
Do we talk about Brian Krall's 3rd divorce?
Ooh, I didn't know he was married or divorced.
No, he hasn't had a 3rd divorce.
Oh, okay.
Just make up shit.
And then Luke got naked.
It just becomes a National Enquirer, like
right. Yeah, no, just the teaser.
Artie Valenzuela has bat wings.
Bat wings! Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I want to do festivals. I applied to Big Pine yesterday or the day before.
Wait, Big Pine is in...
I think it's in Arizona.
Yeah, which I always think...
And I did Bird City
Big
like
Pine
a few
should
months
be in
ago.
Montana, but it isn't. It's that weird...
Yeah, it sounds like it's... Yeah,
it sounds like Wyoming,
it's in
Montana.
Flagstaff or something.
Yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I applied to those two. I don't know if I'll get in, but we'll see. Bird City was cool because they had random days where it would be like a $5 entry fee. They'd just be like, today only $5 entry fee. So you just do that.
So wait a minute. If you get into a comedy festival, you don't get a wristband to go to the other things? You have to pay for that separately?
Oh, no. I meant the application fee was $5.
Oh, got
it. Usually
it.
it's 20 or 15. Like, they
I get it.
They have like, for this time period it's 15, then after this day it's 20 and then it's 50. But they would like have random days where they'd be like, oh, it's $5 today to apply. So I would
get it.
wait for that.
Wait for that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it comes with open access to anywhere, right? Once you're if you're on it.
Yeah,
I
think
think
most
so.
of them. I'm sure there's ones that are just so crazy busy where they're like, sorry, you can't come in.
Well, yeah, and if they've got some huge,
Yeah.
if Dave Chappelle is headlining, I'm sure you're going to have to pay for that damn show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I don't know, but I feel like I finally have a video that I like enough to
See,
send
that's
them.
the other thing.
Yeah.
I've got a 19-minute long video at Tommy T's Pleasanton, packed house, but I can't send them 19 minutes.
Well, you can cut 5 minutes out of it.
Yeah, but that's not where my bangers are, I guess I could splice it. But they don't like that either. They want to see a 5 minute.
You want like a clean 5 minutes.
Yeah, they want to see a 5 clean minute. And I think that's probably what's been holding me back a lot is I don't have
the video.
It's
so hard to get that 5
or the jokes. That was a fake laugh.
Well, yeah, it's even my video that I like. It's the one I did in Vancouver at Yuck Yucks, which was really fun. But it's the last 4.5 minutes. It's not fully 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm a little worried that they'll be like, well, why isn't it 5 minutes? But the reason is the jokes, like I closed on my 5-minute showcase set, but it just happened to be the way it worked out. It was 4.5 minutes.
Okay.
Like I think I didn't. There were just the way the set went. I couldn't add another 30 seconds without like doing half a joke, or like adding the bit before. If I started at the
get
bit before,
it.
I wouldn't finish, and you need to see the end because the end is like closed super good.
Yeah.
Like I did the 69 story and it like crushed there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like I want them to see that part. So it's like 4.5 minutes. So I don't know. We'll see. But
Now, do you do clean material?
I have some. I mean, my Vegas joke is clean.
Okay.
But I've never like sat down to be like, I'm gonna write clean right now.
Yeah, I was talking with a couple comics about that too, and not necessarily sit down and go, I'm going to write clean, but let me look at what I've got and see if I can make it clean.
Oh yeah.
And I've been working also with let me see what I've got and see if I can make that work for a 20-year-old crowd, or how can I tweak that to make it work for a football crowd, or you know what I mean? Just kind of trying out the same tired jokes. Ugh. But but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you my Cheryl, the soccer mom story. So she was one of the first comics I met. And there aren't a lot of female comics. There just aren't. My son took a sociology class at UCLA, and the woman is writing her dissertation on females in comedy. She said that worldwide at any given time, 7 to 11% of comics are female, which is like we're 52% of the population. Why? It's crazy.
I feel like there's some kind of. I mean, you're probably gonna explain it, but there's probably some reason why women just don't want to do it.
Well, there probably is. I don't know. I have my own theory, and that is that men are socialized to hide their insecurities with humor. Women are kind of socialized to hide their humor with a bunch of insecurities. That's my own theory.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm too shy. Oh, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just. Oh no, he's funny. That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and we live in California.
Yes.
So I don't even like feel like that's the thing anymore. But if you go to like Montana or Texas or like whatever. Probably, yeah. There's probably a lot of demure women that are just like, oh, he's the man. I cook. Like,
yeah. They ain't Lizzo out there.
Sad, yeah.
But no, I think that is the and it's getting better. But I think the other thing too is, I mean, for me as a single female, I felt like a creeper out there because all the action happens outside. You go in, you listen to the set, but the networking, the talking about, when you did that joke, I got a tag for you, this mic is happening. That happens out there. I didn't know anybody. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't smoke cigarettes. And so I'm standing out there looking like a chuckle fucker. I'm dead, pink head to toe fluff and they're looking at me like, whose girlfriend are you? Oh, nobody's. Oh, okay, we'll talk. No.
Yeah.
So, and I really got discouraged in the beginning because of that. And it's
gotta be hard because it feels like a guy's club. And if you
it
go
is
to
a guy's club. It's a sausage fest out there.
Totally. Yeah. If you go to an open mic, it's just all dudes.
Yeah.
So it is awesome that the women who do show up and they're not afraid or whatever.
Yeah.
So I get why, but I'm also like, when people complain that there's no women at the open mics or on the shows, it's like, then come be there.
I agree. And that's why I am super duper supportive of the females in this.
Yeah.
And I think Sacramento has one of the best the lady sacs. We have a Facebook group page, the Lady Sack Comics.
Oh,
and
really?
we write together and we, share tips and I don't see that in San Francisco. I don't see that in LA. I don't see that
if it's like a private group, then maybe you just don't know. Maybe you haven't found it yet.
No, but even talking to the female comics there's a lot of backstabbing and, oh my God, there's only room for 2 female comics. We got to get it. And in Sacramento, if you see somebody put out a post, it'll be like, I'm looking for 3 lady comics.
Yeah.
You will see more of, Aurora. Like I'll say Aurora, or Aurora will be like Wendy, or then pick me, because they really look at it and they go, oh, it's.
Don't they do that in SF though? Like I see a lot of posts in Bacon that are like looking for female or not white guy comics. Like I feel like I see those posts, but
I see those posts. But what I'm saying is, in the SAC post, you see a lot of the female comics nominating somebody else for that position than just writing, hey, I want to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of support. It's like, that's not really a show I do, but boy, does that sound like something Asia would do.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of, I don't know. I feel very supported here.
I wonder if it's like the smaller town feel that we have. Like, I wonder if that's part of it, because San Francisco.
I think we just have better people. No, go ahead. I'm never getting a show in San Francisco again. No,
okay.
I just.
None of those guys are going to watch, or girls, the San Francisco people.
We'll see.
Watch this podcast. I mean, watch it.
We'll see. I'll tell them to.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what it is, but there's a genuine affection there for we want to see each other. We go to each other's houses and bring cookies. We go visit each other's kids when they're sick. I mean, there is that support there, which I don't see a lot of it. I see a lot of lone female comics trying to make it on their own in other cities.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not a good way to do it, probably.
No, and I hated it in the beginning. I absolutely fucking hated it. I was terrified. I felt like an outsider. I was scared to get on stage. I felt like, and there's the new comics are kind of creepy. It's like, oh, new blood. I want to get laid. It's like, that's not what I'm there for, fuckers.
Yeah, there's some guys that are like that, but.
Yeah, and I don't run up against that almost anymore at all. The other thing I used to get is I would travel with another male comic or two dudes. We'd go somewhere and I would get out of the car and all the comics would talk to them and I just, I would be ignored. Back to me. And then one of them would be like, she's a comic too. Oh, you're a comic too? I'm like, you don't think I can tell jokes because I have a vagina? How does that even equate?
Yeah, like they just
what?
don't think that
they assume I'm somebody's
You're someone's
chick.
girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
I definitely have been guilty of things like that before. And I feel bad, but I've also had this weird reverse psychology thing. Or I don't know if that's the right word, but like where I'm afraid of talking to a female comic too much because I don't want her to think I'm hitting on her.
Correct.
So I try to not talk to her too much. But so it's like a weird.
And I do the same thing I'm very friendly once I know your name and I'll give you a hug. And I have said to people, look, I just want to talk to you about comedy. I am not hitting on you, but do you want to go grab a notebook and get some coffee sometime? This is not a date, but this is, dude to dude.
You're like, no homo.
No homo. No hetero.
No hetero. Sorry. Yeah.
No hetero. But, so Cheryl, the soccer mom.
Uh-huh.
So I meet her and I adore her because how can you not? She just exudes joy. She's just such a wonderful human being. And she's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
AF.
She's one of the best. Like, I'm sad she had to move to Minnesota. Like,
well, so her and I were talking, and I'm like, yeah, I was raised in Mankato. She's like, oh my God, do you know the Bensons, Swansons, Jensens, Jonesons? I'm like, all the Swensons. I'm like, no, what? But so I went to go see her at Laughs Unlimited, and the friend that I was telling you about who lived in Rockland, who lives there, who moved there. Mm-hmm. So I invited her and her 3 kids, who I call my nieces and nephews because that's how they were raised, Calabash cousins in Hawaii. But anyway, I invite them to this show because I'm like, you've got to meet this gal. She's so wonderful. I love this comic. Come meet her. And so we walk in and I bring them over and I'm like, these are my nieces and nephews. This is my friend Karen, da-da-da-da-da. And their jaw just dropped. And I go, what's going on? And Emily goes, Cheryl was my preschool Sunday school teacher.
What?
I'm like, what? And Karen, my good friend, goes, and her husband plays in the band with Drew, her husband. I'm like, what? How can this be? And they're like, yeah, we've known each other for, ever. And I'm like, dang. It was such a weird, and that's when I went, I'm in the right place. I just need to, serendipitous,
That's like a Pete Holmes, like, what's the word? The word for that. When you talk about something and then it comes up later again.
Deja vu?
Synchronicity?
Oh, synchronicity?
I think so. Whatever. That thing where it's like, this feels right because it's...
Serendipity?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. It's an S word. It's very long. It's got a few syllables.
Yeah.
We're writers. But no, yeah. So I was just like, yeah. And then the other time I almost quit, I was just a mess. And I was...
Almost quit comedy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right in the beginning. And I'm not one of these people who goes, I'm quitting comedy on Facebook every 5 weeks. And then goes, no, I'm not just kidding. But,
name names.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like I've seen those, but not too often.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That's funny though.
I did a show and I was working on new material and I was I was working on stuff from my divorce, and it was just too fresh.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was just too, and I didn't realize that.
It was like when I was writing dead dad jokes like a week later.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta make this funny. And then I haven't really been able to make it funny until like a month ago.
Yeah, and I think it's good to write down your thoughts right away because those
Sure.
are some thoughts that are going to be fleeting. But
Yeah.
I got up and tried to do it raw on stage
It's hard,
at
yeah.
Green, one of Dave Touchstone's things. But it was a show that everybody came to. Like Chelsea Bierce was there, Miles Weber was there, Kyrie was there, Tom Baum was there, Robert Berry was there. I mean, they just all kind of showed up. Nobody had shows that, so they hung out.
Yeah.
And I got up on stage. I literally blanked and I started crying
Oh, man.
into my material. I mean, it was awful.
How many months or years into comedy was it?
I was probably 6 months in, maybe
Uh-huh.
eight, maybe. Yeah, because I'm coming up on 3 years. So yeah, I was real fresh, but I
feel so old as a comedian.
You were such a baby. You know, I got to hurry up. I don't know if I'm going to be alive in 20 years. I'm going to be 55 next year.
I mean, I've been doing it for like 8 years. So then like you feel like newer to me. So like when you say 3 years, I'm like, how have I known you for 3 years? Or you've been doing comedy for 3 years? Like, fuck.
You know, I've probably really only been going at it for a year and a half. You know, I was dabbling in it.
Okay. You took like time
Before.
off and stuff like
No,
that.
I didn't really take time off, but I wasn't doing it head on. You know, I might
okay.
do a mic a week or,
okay,
you know, something like that. I might have had.
I feel like I remember that where like I would see you, but then it would only be like at this one mic or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And now I'm just like, I'll drive to San Luis Obispo for a mic or a show.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, let's go.
I like
This is
doing stuff like that. Just,
I do too. It's
Yeah.
good to do it in front of a set of people that haven't heard my tired ass jokes.
Yeah, and you feel you're like, I drove somewhere. Let's do this. Like I came here. Like I love doing. Have you done Shea Root Lounge in?
No,
Augusta?
I haven't yet. I want to.
So fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love doing that because it's like I love the 209. Like all those comics are like really good friends. Like all the Deaf Puppies are like I love those guys. They're like I always think of them as like cool cousins that we get to hang out with. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah.
And I have been doing things down in the 209 and that too. But anyway, so I got up there and I literally just cried and I just got off stage and I was just a fucking mess and I just hated myself. And I think I was riding with Tom Baum and somebody else. So I had to wait I couldn't leave.
Yeah.
You know, I had to sit there and I was just like, fuck. Hating myself. Got back in the car. Tom's driving me home and I just started crying. I said, I'm never doing this again. I suck at it. I don't know why I pretended I could do this. I'm terrible. I'm not funny. Those guys are fabulous. I mean, look at the talent that was in that room, you know, that night. I was just like, I can't do this. I quit. And I went back to being a fucking sorry ass crybaby in my room. And Tom called me the next day. He's like, let's go hit a mic. And I'm like, not doing it. I'm dead ass serious, not doing it. And he's like, next day, calls me, texts me, Facebook. I mean, let's go. You're getting back out.
You hashtag the grind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And he kept picking on me. And I'm just like, seriously, I'm not going to fucking answer your calls anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I hate it. I hate myself. I hate being up there. I'm never going to get over my stage fright. I don't have jokes. Fuck off. And then he called my daughter and he said, tell your mom to get off her sorry ass, take a shower, and you're taking her out to dinner.
Dang, I didn't know Tom Baum was so motivational.
Tom is. I love him. I mean, he's harsh, and people just don't get it. And you know, and he's also he's a crazy wild playboy. You know, he's got that rep. You know, he and his mom and I are good friends. You know,
Really?
Yes, I love her, Teresa. She's awesome. But anyway, so. I got dressed. I'm wearing sweatpants and I'm just looking like a slouch. And my daughter's like, come on, get in there and get dressed. Would you just get? I'm like, fuck, all right, I put some jeans on and a sweater, whatever. All right, I'm ready to go now. Tom shows up. He goes, get in the car. We're going to San Francisco. We're doing 5 mics. I'm like, I'm not doing this. He's like, too fucking late. Get in the car. I'm looking at Sophie going, she's like, I ain't going out to dinner with you. I'm staying home. I'm like, what? So we got in. And I'm like, I fucking hate you. You're an asshole, you know. And we drove there. I did 5 mics that night, and I did so well at all of them. Probably because I was just pissed.
Yeah.
You know, I just and I did. That was kind of when I went, I don't care anymore. I'm mad.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget him for that. I mean, he's been one of my biggest motivations and he's one of my best friends. Yeah, which sounds wild, Tom Baum.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so let me tell you one more story. So then,
Tom, we should wrap it up soon because this is like
yeah, I know, I could talk forever.
No, it's good. It's good.
Tom Baum's mom, all she wanted to do on her birthday last year, January 19th, was go see Lily Tomlin, who was playing at San Jose Theater, 4,000 seat theater. She was doing a one-woman show.
Does she just stand up or?
She was on all those variety shows back in the 60s and 70s. She does stand up. She does sketches. She does look up her stuff. She's a
comedian.
She's a comedian, but a lot of like the laugh in kind of stuff, variety shows that they used to have back in, Sonny and Cher back then.
Okay.
And she's a comedic
Carol
actor.
Burnett show or stuff like that?
Kind of like that, yeah.
Okay.
And she's a comedic actor. I mean, she's been in all kinds of things. But anyway, so that's all she wanted to do. So when we walked in, they had a bucket and you could write on cards questions you had for her. She'd do a Q&A afterwards. So I wrote 5 of them. And we go sit down. We've got our seats. 4,000 seat theater. She does she's 80 years old. 2 hours. One woman show.
Dang.
Just active, amazing, sitting like this, jump up, walking up and down
like
stairs.
Joan Rivers.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
And afterwards, she grabs the bucket and she pulls out a card and it happens to be mine. The first one. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Tom, that's my card. He's like, shut up. That's right. I'm like, that's my card. That's my card. And it was a generic question. It's like, how do you stay in such good shape? Because I wrote 5 of them.
Yeah.
And that's one she picked. So she answered my question. I went out of the theater. Everybody's getting ready to go. I see the theater manager and I said, hey, do me a favor. That first card she read, it's still on stage, was mine. Would you please take it to her and see if she would sign it? I don't want to bother her, but would you mind just ask her? And he's like, she's got a car waiting. She can't do that. I'm like, and I'm telling her, I am a stand-up comic from Sacramento. And I told him the story about how I got into stand-up. It was because of her on that damn show. And he's like, all right, I'll go see. So he goes downstairs, comes back up. He doesn't have the card. I go, fine. I go, thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate you asking. Thank you. You did a great job tonight. It was wonderful. And he goes, no, she wants to see you in her dressing room. I'm like, what? And I'm with Tom Baum's mom, Tom Baum's mom's mom.
Tom Baum's mom, Mrs. Baum.
Mrs. Baum. Bombity Bomb Bomb. And a whole bunch of like the neighbor ladies and aunts. So there's like 15 old ladies here. Not old, but my age, so I can say that. Okay. And he kind of looks horrified and he goes, are you with all these people? And I'm like, no. I'm a comic. Tom's a comic. Tom's with me. And then this is Tom's mom. And she bought the tickets. It's her idea. That's all she wanted to do. It's her birthday today. And he goes, all right, the 3 of you can come. So I spent 20 minutes in Lily Tomlin's dressing room asking her questions about comedy.
Wow.
She was the most amazing, graceful person. She was just, and I got to tell her face to face, she was the reason I started comedy. It was fabulous.
It's cool when someone like that is cool because they're not always like that.
Break your heart, my idol.
Yeah. Like I mean he's not like a hero, but I met Josh Wolf once and I did a guest set at Punchline.
Yeah.
And that guy is just so like he's just so down to earth and
chill.
Cool. And it's nice when someone who's like a successful comic or whatever is they're just like a person. Like they don't act weird. They don't like don't talk to me until after and I need a sandwich of this kind. Just weird stuff. Yeah. So that's awesome that Lily Tomlin's like that.
Yeah, the only time I've met people who haven't been like that, have been disappointed. I've been musicians. Like I've met musicians like, God, I used to like you. You're a dick.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. But anyway, and she signed my card. And we got to take pictures.
Yeah. I feel like vaguely I'm remembering seeing this picture at some point on Facebook, but I might just be creating that memory just because it sounds
probably you did.
So
it was probably a year ago.
Yeah.
Because it was January 19th last year. Yeah. I'll probably post it again soon because Cheryl nominated me for that 10-day challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that? Yeah. So you nominate somebody for a 10-day challenge, and each day they post a picture and nominate somebody else.
Oh, okay.
10 days in a row. Yeah. Watch out. You might get nominated by me. I've got a few left.
No one has nominated me, so it would be nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, we should wrap this up.
We should wrap it up because I never stop talking, as my family will remind me.
Well, as I've said, this is like, I want it to be like Joe Rogan's podcast, so we probably could do 3 hours. Maybe we'll do another one.
Okay.
We'll try for it.
Okay.
But I feel like I have to pee like before, if I'm drinking coffee at all, I don't even know.
I peed in between when the batteries broke. I
Yeah.
actually that was my special force. I was like, break the batteries, I gotta pee. Yeah, that's what I did.
Well, he goes to the bathroom sometimes. He'll just be like, sorry, I got to go. I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah,
or
I
his
know.
guests will do it. So it's not that weird. And Jamie's always sitting there. I don't have a Jamie yet.
Oh, you need a Jamie.
Probably, yeah. Okay. Perhaps. Oh, no, the battery. What is it saying? Battery low. Okay, let's finish.
Okay, let's finish that.
What's your social media? Do you want to tell anyone?
It's very simple. It's Jacqui Pirl, JACQUIPIRL. Okay, and then I used to have
Is it
an
at Jacqui Pirl?
that's Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, Facebook is just Jacqui Pirl. And then I used to have a at Jacqui Pirl Instagram, but I can't remember the password and I didn't do anything. Like it was so long ago, it was before I did. So now it's Pearl at Pearl Jacqui.
Okay.
I got to figure that out. I know there's a way to reset it, but
I have an at Epic Tiki comedy on Instagram and at Epic Tiki, and then I also made at Luke Soin because and then people have been tagging me as at Luke Soin, but that's supposed to be my videography one, so I need to like make it more clear that that's not a comedy one. I don't know.
Well, you've just said it. Did you hear that? Listen to the podcast. He's making it clear now, damn it.
Yes.
I have such trouble with Instagram because people have the weirdest names. It's like at Rad Chick Forever. It's like, who the fuck is that?
Is that Danny?
That's Danny D. yeah. But I'm just like,
it's because they made it when it didn't matter, and now it's
it's like at Dirty Soap 666. I'm like, who the fuck is that? That's Edmina, by the way. Yeah, I know. But at Epic Tiki, I'm like, woo, it sounds Hawaiian. I'll follow him, but I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah. I don't think I answered why I called it what.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Well, really quick, I just wanted something that was like worked for both comedy stuff and more serious things. Like someday if I ever do my space thing, like I just thought like epic things. But then Tiki, I like Tiki stuff. So it's really weird now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, that just sounds like
no,
a weird
I
thing,
really
but-
like it. Epic Tiki, and it rolls off the tongue. Epic Tiki.
Okay.
Epic Tiki. Epic Tiki. And if you say it enough, it's kind of like mango, 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 mango. It sounds weird after you say it. Epic Tiki. Epic Tiki. Yeah, I like it.
Epic Teepee, I hear a lot from people.
Ah.
But yeah, okay, so that's, at Epic Tiki Comedy on Twitter, at Epic Tiki on Instagram. Subscribe, comment.
Like, leave comments. And we're gonna tell your mom.
Tell Tom Bomb's mom's mom.
Tell Tom Bomb's mom, and Tom Bomb's mom's mom. Yeah. And
Write a
we're gonna leave
about Tom Bomb's mom's mom.
Right, a lyric. There once was a boy named Tom.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna write like a teaser for this and be like, Brian Crawl, see if you're in there. Cheryl the soccer mom. At what minute do we talk to you? I'll help you write it. It'll be fun. We'll see if we can get the hits up.
Yeah.
And share. Yeah, there's a lot of really secret stuff on here.
Secret stuff.
Secret stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for watching.
Aloha.
Bye.